Right, we've reached the car park and picnic area, so that means we must be on this area here on the map.
Yeah, this area is called Speculation, so at least now we can work out our exact location.
So we need to take this track here, and then we should be quite near our destination. Hang on. There shouldn't be a fence here. Look, according to the map, it's a public right-of-way all along here.
Well, the map is a few years old. They could have changed a lot of the footpaths since it was printed.
Bloody pain. Well, I vote we climb over and go on this way.
No, not with the fence here. Besides...
Danger! Well, I can't see why that should be.
I'm sure the local forestry commission put these signs here for a good reason.
Well, I can't see what's so dangerous about crossing this. I expect it's just an area where they planted new trees, that's all. Come on, let's go this way anyway.
You're not going to go over there, are you?
Yes, why not?
Look, the danger sign isn't there just for fun, you know. Anyway, you'll damage it if you try to climb it.
Oh, I'll damage the fence, will I? Well, you go another way if you want to. I'm climbing over.
Oh my God. What the hell's happened to him?
Well, Scott, looks like we've made it.
Good, I was hoping you'd say that. I'd hate to think we come all this way only to find that we're in the wrong place.
Oh, Scott, what do you take me for? No, we're on a very important mission this weekend. I've no intention of wasting time by coming to the wrong place. No, this is it. This is Coleford, the very capital of the Forest of Dean.
What a weird place this is.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it's a dump, isn't it? It's not like the city at all.
It's only a small town, Scott. There's everything here, pub, shops, cinema, just on a smaller scale, that's all.
Well, I've no intention of walking too far today, so I hope they're going to tell me we're quite near where we're going to be staying tonight.
Well, we won't be stopping here for very long. I want us to go a bit further so it's not so far to go tomorrow. Well, I've done some research and there are bus services which operate all over the forest. Now, I'll find somewhere for us to stay, and there's a bus which leaves Coleford which stops right outside there. Here we are, Scott. This is where we're keeping down tonight.
Ah, a pub. Excellent. I could murder a beer right now.
We better not overdo it tonight. I don't want you with a hangover in the morning. We both need to be completely alert and full of energy. So my little problem is successfully dealt with in the morning.
Well, what a surprise. You brought us back to the Forest of Dean, Patrick.
Well, I did say that we would be visiting this area again, Nigel.
You said that a whole year ago when we were here last time, and that's the problem.
I'm a busy man, Michael. As you already know, I do prefer to go walking alone, so there aren't many times in a year when I'm willing to bring people with me.
We're driving through the Cannop Valley now then, are we?
That's right. In 1989, it was declared by the Forestry Commission as one of the 46 nature reserves in the Forest of Dean. I'll return to Cannop Ponds, promise, Nigel.
It's popular here, isn't it?
Yes, isn't it? I think Cannop Ponds has to be one of the most visited areas in the Forest of Dean. Many times did my family and I come here over the years. So it's not surprising, perhaps, that, this has become probably our favourite spot in the area.
I expect these ponds are man-made, aren't they?
Yeah. The actual ponds were created many years ago by damming up the stream, which used to provide power for the ironworks at Parkend. But the ponds are today much more important for nature conservation and recreation.
This area seems rather familiar. As though I've been here before.
Well, it would do, wouldn't it, you silly sod? We came here on the walk last time. Patrick said he'd bring us back to these ponds.
Yes, thank you, Nigel. I mean, I've been here some other time, apart from when we were here last time with Patrick.
That's interesting, Michael. I thought you said you'd never been to the Forest of Dean before I brought you here last year.
Well, I hadn't, but I may have passed through this place sometime since. I've just got a feeling about this place in particular.
Right, Scott, it doesn't look like we got too far to go.
What's the name of this place we're looking for?
Cannop Ponds. This guy that we've come over here to find, are you sure he's going to be here today? Oh yes, but I don't think he'll be expecting me to turn up as well. And that way we'll have the advantage over him.
Scrabble. We've come all the way out here to the Forest of Dean to visit Cannop Ponds, and you two are going to sit there and play Scrabble.
Well, I did say I was going to relax more when we came out again.
Are you going to play as well, Pat?
No, I don't think I will, thank you very much. I have to be in the right mood to play a board game, and that isn't very often.
Well, I suppose you're going to go for a walk then.
Yeah, I might just do that. It is, after all, why I came out here.
miserable old foot.
Come on, Nigel. Did you honestly expect Patrick to sit down with a board game in the middle of the Forest of Dean?
What's your real reason for us coming out to the Forest of Dean this weekend, Clayton?
Oh, well, there's someone out here. I've got something of a score to settle with, Scott.
Well, instead of us chasing him all the way out here, couldn't we have waited till he got back home?
Well, I've got my reasons. It was here in the Forest of Dean that he deserted me a year ago. So I thought it would be appropriate to return to the scene of the crime. And of course, it's so much more isolated here. Hardly any people about, not like in the city.
Why? What are you going to do? Kill him?
Oh, good God, no. That I'll leave to you.
So, who's winning then? Right, well, I can see you're busy, so I'll just carry on with the walk around the ponds. Oh, don't let me disturb you again.
Hang on. Does this track lead to Cannop, Clayton? Yes, if you see the dotted line, we're following that and we should come out at the ponds over there.
Is your leg starting to hurt you again?
Yes, it's a bit. It's alright if I walk at my own pace and in my own time.
This friend of yours, he's the cause of that, isn't he?
Yes, he is. And I fully intend to repay him for it.
I think it's about time you told me the whole story, Clayton.
Has anybody actually won yet? Is that a yes or a no? Right, as long as we're clear on that point then. Fine, right. I'm going for a walk to Beechenhurst. I may be a few hours. why do I bother bringing people along? If they can't come out here and appreciate the Forest of Dean for what it really is, I don't know why they bother to come at all. Why the hell did they stay at home if they wanted to play bloody Scrabble?
So this is it then, Clayton?
That's right, Scott. Cannop Ponds. Now all we have to do is find our man.
The picnic site at Beechenhurst, in the forest enclosure of the same name, has become more and more touristy over the years. It has developed into an excellent centre of information, as well as providing refreshment facilities. As with all picnic sites in the Forest of Dean, many walks begin here. In particular, the fairly recently created Sculpture Trail, a walk where rustic works of art are permanently on display. Speech House, in the traditional centre of the forest, is the meeting place of the Verderers' Court, first appointed by King Canute in 1016 to safeguard the trees and animals of the forest. The present building, which has particularly thick walls and remarkable overlapping eaves, was completed in 1682 and is now a Trust House hotel with the court as the dining room. Opposite the hotel is the Bledisloe Monument, which officially marks the very centre of the Forest of Dean. I love this place. I really do love the Forest of Dean. The atmosphere is so nice here. I feel really comfortable. This should be my home, really. Yes. Yeah, why shouldn't it be? This should be my home.
Oh my God.
What's wrong?
Well, I think I just saw a ghost. Oh, wait here a moment, will you? Look, Nigel, I'm just going for a walk for a while with my friend. I hopefully won't be away too long.
What the hell's going on, Michael? Who is that you were with anyway?
I haven't got much time now, Nigel. I've got to go.
You can't just go off like that. Patrick could be back at any minute.
I'm trying to get rid of him. Look, he thinks you and I are just here on our own today. I haven't even told him about Patrick. And I'd rather he didn't know about Patrick. So let's just keep him believing it's you and me here, okay?
Great. So what am I supposed to do in the meantime?
I'll explain everything when I get back, okay?
Yeah, and what if you don't come back?
Clayton, what exactly are we meant to be waiting for?
Patience, Michael, patience. Ah, here we are. I think you know Scott, don't you?
What's he doing here?
It's okay, Clayton. Everything is fine now. We can get on with our problem.
What does he mean exactly?
You didn't come here alone today, did you, Michael? I did ask Scott to hide in the bushes and see if there was anyone with you. So, Scott?
Yes, there was this short bloke with reddish hair, but I took care of him.
Nigel, what have you done to him?
Don't worry about him, Mike. I think he'll be asleep for a very long time.
You bastard.
Ah, isn't that touching, Clayton? Was he a close friend?
I'm going to bloody have you for this.
Boys, 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 enough of this. We don't have the time. We've got to get on. Up.
Where the hell have they got to? Nigel,
Patrick, thank God you've returned.
are you alright? What happened to you?
Well, after you'd gone, there was this bloke that Michael seemed to know, and he went over to talk to him. He seemed ever so uneasy, and he went off with him.
Where to?
I followed them up there for a little while. I was pretty sure they didn't know I was following them.
Did you have any idea who this bloke was?
Judging by the look on Michael's face, I wouldn't have said that he was a friend of his. I followed them for what seemed like a really long time before eventually they stopped in an isolated forest clearing near one of these picnic sites. At this point, Michael just stood there whilst this other bloke was having a real go at him about something or other. I tried to listen to what he was slagging him off about, but I couldn't hear it clearly enough. All I can say is that this bloke really looked angry and upset, and at one point I actually thought he was going to hit Michael. It was whilst I was watching all this going on that I was caught unexpectedly. The next thing I could remember was waking up an hour or so later with a massive headache. When it suddenly dawned on me what had happened, I looked to where Michael had been standing with the other bloke, but they'd gone. Obviously, this person who hit me from behind was another of Michael's friends.
Well, it sounds to me as though this mysterious second bloke had been onto you as soon as you were spotted following Michael and his friend. I expect he was just keeping out of the way just to make sure that you were the only other person here with Michael at Cannop today.
What are we going to do? We'll have to try and find them. There's no telling what might have happened to Michael if he's on his own with those two maniacs.
I don't quite know how we can find them. I expect these guys have driven here, in which case they'll be miles away by now. Which direction did you see the first bloke arrive from?
He came from over there, by that gate, I think.
Right, so if they came from that way, they've probably come from Parkend, as that is the nearest village in that direction. Okay. So as you followed Michael when he walked off with his friend, which direction did they take?
They went up that track there. They crossed the main road and stopped to have a talk near this big open area where there were lots of people about.
That sounds like Beechenhurst. I'm going to see if I can find them. You wait here.
You're not going to go off on your own looking for them.
Nigel, you've been hurt, remember? I think it would be better for you if you just try and get some rest.
Okay, but you don't really intend to search the entire Forest of Dean for them, do you?
No, but I can't just do nothing. I have to try to find them. Assuming these guys came here on foot, they kind of got too far away from here. Unless they caught a bus somewhere.
Don't you think we should alert the police?
Yeah, but what do we tell them? That our friend Michael has been found wandering through the Forest of Dean with two suspicious-looking men? It was by his own choice that he went off with them. So we don't have any evidence to suggest that he's in any real kind of danger.
They assaulted me, for Christ's sake. Isn't that enough evidence for them?
I understand what you're saying, but I really don't think the police would do anything about it. They would only act upon it if you have been really badly injured or perhaps even killed. As far as the police are concerned, this is just a minor incident. And I think we can deal with this more effectively ourselves.
Fine, but what happens if Michael becomes the cause of a major incident?
Where the hell are they? Oh, Christ, they could have gone absolutely anywhere. Bugger. This is pathetic. I don't know where to start looking for them. All I'm doing is going in bloody circles. Sorry, Michael, but I can't search the whole forest trying to find you.
Do you remember this spot then, Michael?
You know damn well I do.
We had a very nice time the last time we were here, didn't we? Do you remember our plan? We would start at Lydney, walk right across the forest to Ross-on-Wye, and then, what was it? Oh yes, of course, we'd get a bus to Gloucester where we get our train back home again, together. But then, of course, I didn't manage to complete the trip, did I, Michael? What was the rest of the walk like? Was it more fun on your own, or did you happen to perhaps miss my company?
This isn't fair, Clayton, and you know it.
You left me, Michael. I was stuck down there for ages. My leg broken. It still hurts now. You might be interested to know. You buggered off and you left me.
I left you to try and get help.
Oh, how very convenient. You were gone a very long time, weren't you? So long, in fact, you didn't come back at all.
That's a nice way to treat your friends, isn't it? What do you think we should do with him then, Clayton?
Bring him. I'd very much like to repay him for what he did to me.
Oh, you're back. I take it you didn't find Michael then?
Nope.
What are you going to do now then?
Well, there's only one thing we can do. Some while ago, Michael and I discussed a plan of attack if he should ever get lost while walking somewhere on his own. I just hope he remembers what to do in this type of situation. That's assuming he can get away from those two maniacs. How's your head?
Still a bit sore.
Well look, I'm going to actually take a drive around the forest, see if I can find Michael. You have a kip on the grass or something. It'll do you some good.
Thanks, pal.
Now, the only real reason that they may have come to Cinderford would be to catch a bus from here. But to where? The nearest major city is Gloucester, so they could go anywhere from there. But surely they haven't got this far in such a short space of time. Probably not. And it's Sunday today, so there won't be a regular bus service to and from the forest anyway. Let's check the bus timetable.
Right, so the last bus left here an hour ago, so there's no way they could have got here in time for that. And there isn't another bus from Cinderford for nearly 2 hours. Right. I'm not beaten yet, as long as I continue putting my search plan into action.
This is the spot, Michael. Do you remember?
How could I forget?
Do you know, Michael, I know every single inch of the inside of that old mine shaft down there.
Well, you did spend a really long time in there, didn't you, Clayton?
That's right. And you know, I think a man such as yourself would really appreciate it down there. It's very homely.
No, I think I'll pass on that one, thank you, Clayton. I'm sure I can take your word for it.
Oh, but I insist, Michael.
Don't be ridiculous, Clayton. It won't solve anything by making me suffer the way you did.
Revenge is so sweet. Don't you think so, Michael?
I'm sorry, Michael, but we'll have to be off now. Bus to catch and all that. Hope you'll be very happy down there in your new home.
You bastard, Clayton! You're a bloody maniac, do you know that? Are you bloody satisfied? You don't think you are the last of me? Do you hear me?
Patrick, thank God you're here.
You're hurt, Michael. What happened to you?
Well, believe it or not, I was pushed down an old mine shaft by two dear friends of mine.
What? Well, how the hell did you manage to get out again on your own?
Well, I was damn lucky. Could have broken my neck or anything falling down a mine shaft. As it is, I think it's just my ankle's a bit ginger. It took me ages to get out of there.
Christ, you were lucky. You could have been stuck in there forever and not been found by anyone. Thank God my search plan works.
Yeah, if I ever lose my way, get to the nearest road and wait while you circuit every forest enclosure until we meet each other.
Who are these guys? And what do they want with you?
Well, when I started college about 2 years ago, I met this guy, Clayton Hickman. Seemed a nice person, extremely intelligent, and he was on the same media studies course as me. Well, you know, he had a friendly personality, nice, bubbly guy. Everyone seemed to get on with him. He went to a lot of parties, such a nice, sociable person, but me, I had a problem with him. I just thought underneath that personality, it was all superficial, and there was something about him. He could get very angry. I don't think he was very happy, and you got the feeling if you crossed it, you know, he wouldn't forget it. He'd bear a grudge against you forever. Well, of course, I'd become friendly with him myself, and we got talking about some of the walks I'd been on with you. And before I knew it, he persuaded me to go with him on a walk to the forest with you.
Right, we've reached the car park and picnic area, so that means we must be on this area here on the map.
Yeah, this area is called Speculation, so at least now we can work out our exact location.
So we need to take this track here, and then we should be quite near our destination. Hang on. There shouldn't be a fence here. Look, according to the map, it's a public right of way all along here.
Well, the map is a few years old. They could have changed a lot of the footpaths since it was printed.
It's a bloody pain. Well, I vote we climb over and go on this way.
No, not with the fence here. Besides...
Danger. Well, I can't see why that should be.
I'm sure the local forestry commission put these signs here for a good reason.
Well, I can't see what's so dangerous about crossing this. I expect it's just an area where they planted new trees, that's all. Come on, let's go this way anyway.
You're not going to go over there, are you?
Yes, why not?
Look, the danger sign isn't there just for fun, you know. Anyway, you'll damage it if you try to climb it.
Or damage the fence, will I? Well, you go another way if you want to. I'm climbing over.
Oh my God. What the hell's happened to him? Clayton! Clayton, where have you gone?
Well, I circled the area where Clayton had disappeared, and I could see that some of the ground had subsided. So I guess that he'd fallen down a hole and couldn't get out again.
Yeah, that sounds about right. The fences with danger signs are often placed where there are dangerous cliffs, but they're mainly erected where the ground subsides due to old mine shafts that lie underneath.
I kept calling out to him, but I received no response. I was worried sick. For all I knew, he might have been dead. The only logical thing I could do was to go and get help. So, you know, after I'd been there a while trying to find him and had no luck, I took off to find the nearest telephone box and I rang the emergency services. It seemed ages while I waited for the police to arrive, but they did eventually. I took them to the site where Clayton had disappeared and they dropped ropes into the ground. They had no luck locating him. They told me that Clayton would have to be listed as a missing person. About a week later, I called the police to find out what had happened, and they told me that he was okay. He'd called in at the police station, as he'd guessed that I would have reported his disappearance.
That explains why I never saw a news report about a missing person who was last seen in the Forest of Dean. Okay, so if he had reported himself into the police, why haven't you been able to find him all this time until today? Surely you must have checked to see that he was at home.
That's the trouble, you see. I didn't actually know where he lived. Whenever I saw him, he came round to my house. So I never ever knew where he lived.
So what's he been doing all this time? Why did he never contact you?
He's been plotting against me all this time, that's what.
Come on, let's get back to Cannop Ponds. You need to calm down and relax.
Oh God, Nigel, I completely forgot about him. That bloody fug Scott hit him on the head. I hope he's all right now.
He's fine, I've seen him. It's just that he'll been waiting for us all this time, that's all.
So that's it then, Clayton. You've had your revenge on Michael. What are we going to do now?
Go home. We'll go back to Parkend, we'll pick up our stuff, and we'll get the last bus out of here.
We'll never make it at this rate.
Yeah, you're probably right. Well, why don't you try and pick us up a lift?
You didn't tell me there was two of your friends here, Michael. One of them decided to introduce himself to me. I usually prefer to shake hands rather than get knock on the back of the head instead.
My God, I'm really sorry about that, Nigel. I was really worried about what Scott had done to you. Anyhow, you weren't the only one who thought that Clayton was here on his own. Are you all right?
My head feels a little bit sore, but I'll survive.
This Clayton and Scott need to be sorted out.
What do you mean exactly?
Well, they can't be allowed to get away with what they did to either of you two today. You two wait here. I'm going to try and find them. I won't be long.
But what are you going to do? I mean, you don't even know them or where they are now.
Well, assuming they both came here on foot, they can't have gone too far away from here. Also, you did make a point of making them believe that it was only you two here at Cannop today. They're not expecting a third person, so I have the advantage over them. All I need now is for you to give me a complete description of him for me, Michael. Right, I'll see you both a bit later then.
Bye.
Good afternoon, chaps. Can I give you a lift? So, you're both out here exploring the Forest of Dean for the day, are you?
That's right. We're just here on a day trip.
So you've been doing lots of walking?
Oh yes, lots and lots of walking.
That's right. We've been doing loads of walking today through the woods.
And whereabouts have you been walking?
Oh, Cannop Ponds. I don't know the names of the other places.
Cannop Ponds. Yes, I know it well. I like exploring the old mine shafts near there. But you have to be a bit careful, just in case you fall down one.
What do you mean?
Well, you know, most of the old mine shafts are fenced off because they're very dangerous. So, how do you like it here in the forest?
Oh, it's nice enough. Except the fir trees. I mean, what is the point of importing foreign trees, which look like they're made of plastic, into an English forest and then planting them in perfectly straight lines? They should all be cut down permanently.
You think so, do you? I think the fir trees give the forest a haunting quality.
Really?
Yes, well, where exactly do you want me to drop you off?
The pub at Parkend, that's where we've been staying. We'll pick up our stuff and get our bus home. What are you doing? You've driven straight past it.
Oh dear. Have I? Oh yeah. So I have.
Well, do you think you could perhaps stop now?
You're mad. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah, okay, would you mind just telling us what this is about, please?
I thought you might have guessed by now. Particularly when I mentioned about exploring the mine shafts.
You know Michael, don't you?
Mm-hmm. You both thought you were being so clever today, didn't you, when you arrived in Cannop?
There was only one other person with Michael at the ponds.
I told you to hide and see who was with him.
That's exactly what I did. When you and Michael walked off, I saw Nigel and followed you. There was no one else around.
Well, I'm sorry to piss on your plans, chaps, but Michael came here today with 2 friends. I just happened to be away from Cannop at the time you both arrived there.
I assume you managed to find Michael then?
Yeah. You just managed to struggle out of the mine shaft, unhurt luckily, after you had left him there.
So did he get you to come and deal with us then?
No, I came of my own accord.
So what exactly are you going to do about it then?
I don't like to see friends of mine treated in the way you've treated Michael and Nigel today. Michael told me what happened when you were both here a year ago, Clayton, but you really twisted the story around, didn't you?
I don't see why I should justify my actions to you.
You had Michael worried to death about you for a whole bloody year, because you were stupid enough to climb a fence clearly marked danger and fall down a mine shaft. You lied to him when you said you were stuck down there. You had managed to climb out again on your own whilst he'd gone to get help for you, even though you'd broken your leg. Michael had no idea in all this time what had happened to you. He thought you might even have been killed. And you come out here today to take your revenge on him.
Well, let me guess your plan. You've picked us up, pretending with best intentions to give us a lift, and then what? You'll take us to some isolated spot, kill us and dump our bodies.
Nothing quite so dramatic.
Jesus Christ! Didn't quite go as you planned, did it, mate?
Never mind. I adapt easily.
So what are you going to do now? Beat me up?
Well, I've no intention of becoming a hero for your sake. But this matter is going to be settled, one way or another.
How nice to see you again, Clayton.
Michael, how nice to see you're okay. Let me put an end to that once and for all. So this was your plan along, was it? Stow away in the car boot and take me by surprise?
Not quite. Even Patrick had no idea I was in the front.
Clayton, you left this in my car. I'd say that you and Clayton were quits now, wouldn't you? Anyway, what do you think you were doing climbing in my boot of my car?
Well, I would have been on the kill where Clayton was concerned. He was my problem after all. Besides, what was your plan? Do you think you could deal with them on your own?
Possibly not. So it's just as well for me that you came along, wasn't it?
So what exactly did you do with Clayton and Scott then, chaps?
We left them at New Fancy View. They should be making their way back to Parkend village by now.
So really, we haven't achieved anything by leaving them.
Well, we have really. You see, they were both staying in a pub in Parkend overnight, and after they had left you down that mine shaft, they were on their way back there from where they could pick up their luggage, and then they were going to go back to Coleford to catch their last bus back home. I've just made sure that they'll never get that last bus now.
You evil bastard. Mind you, surely all they have to do is stay one more night in the pub and they can get a bus tomorrow morning.
Yeah, but if they were rushing to get back home today, it probably means they don't have enough money to stay one more night.
Yes, of course. Well, at least it'll put them to a great inconvenience.
Exactly. You know, this business with those two today has really brought home to me how precious the Forest of Dean is to me, you know.
What are you on about?
Well, before I met up with them today, I was thoroughly enjoying my walk out here. Despite all the trouble they caused, my feelings about this area are stronger than ever. You see, where I've had unpleasant experiences in the past, usually I no longer like the atmosphere of that particular place because I've got bad memories of it. But today, those two haven't even begun to dampen the surface about the way I feel for the Forest of Dean.
You talk as though you're in love with the forest.
Yes, I do, don't I? I've been thinking about this for a long time now, and today I have finally decided. One day, when I can get decent employment in the area, I'm going to live here.
Seriously? You're going to move here?
That's right. I don't know why I haven't done so before, but now my decision to do so is definite.
Well, you'll have to come and visit us when you do, won't you?
What? I want to move here so that I can get away from you lot. Why do you think I like to be known as the Solitary Rambler?